exposing the truth behind the lies, and fighting for the freedom of awareness. Listen at your own risk. America's first competition talk show. You're in the Hub.
Good day, welcome to the Hub, and living in the land of the free, home of the brave, where your mobile device is spying on you. It's brave for them, maybe not for you. But this is kind of an interesting story that recently came out. The Wall Street Journal has given John Stossel some help in doing the investigative work that he likes to do, and they have recently took 105 different apps, the top 105 apps that are downloaded on the Google operating system, which is the Android phone uses, and then the iPhone operating system, which the iPhone uses, the Apple operating system for them. And the 100 top apps that were downloaded, and they found out that overwhelmingly privacy contracts are not required. You don't have to sign a privacy contract, and consequently, it doesn't protect your privacy when you buy your smartphone these days. And so the apps, when you download them, don't have privacy contracts with them up to this point either. The ones that do, turns out many of the companies are violating their own contractual agreements that they say we won't do these sorts of things. Now, Google says we protect our subscribers, interests, everyone that downloads an app. And the interesting thing about this is iPhone, the Apple Store, runs all the apps, as you know, if you have an iPhone, all the apps that you'll download onto your iPhone come through the App Store. In other words, Apple signs off on them. If you go to an Android phone, you can download, anybody can create the apps and you can download them from anywhere. Google basically leaves it open platform, and they say the apps developers are responsible for monitoring themselves and making sure they behave and don't sell your information too many different places or hold their own end of the obligation. So is Google, I guess it's kind of nothing, see no evil, hear no evil kind of thing with Google. Does that get them off in this case? Because they're not signing off on it, Sean. So, they don't have any obligation. Does that give them a free run of the roost where Apple has more obligation here because they're running it all through their store?
No.
No?
Well, I mean, I don't know too much about the Google and smartphone or iPhone or Android or anything like that, but I don't know. I mean, that concerns me the most about what they're doing, about the privacy issues.
Well, but Bree, okay, I got to ask you this. Is it really the obligation? Do you really have a reason to get upset about something you download for free and them taking your information and distributing it if they offered it to you for free? I mean, oh my God, a company creates a product or service that they want to benefit from. How dare they?
I think that if you downloaded it, then maybe you should have some responsibility in that. I don't think that, Apple had a gun to your head saying, you have to get this application. I mean, you really, I think, need to have an idea of what you're getting yourself into. I mean, if you're not signing something that says you are guaranteed privacy, then you're not, and they can really do whatever they want with that, information. And I can tell you, I never read terms of contract.
Yeah, and he really does. I mean,
I agree.
And it wasn't the first Apple that got somebody into trouble, for that matter. So, touche. But here's the thing: they say that Google doesn't take as much of your information as the iPhone stuff does. Probably because Google, through their AdSense service and everything else they have, already has all your information. Why do they need any more of it? They've got the biggest schematic on the globe for data mining. So, Sean, it's really an interesting thing to me because do you buy this when these companies say that they've put their security in place and that they're not violating your top privacy? Because they will tell you this, and they say this in the Wall Street Journal article when they were asked about it, that they do not assign a name to it. A real world name is not assigned to the data they're collecting, just a number, just the code that they use on your phone. What's it called? The UDID, the Unique Device Identifier. That's all they're associating this data with. So really, you're safe, right?
Not really.
Okay.
I don't think you're safe. I mean, I think if you look at the other page right here, where it says you can't clear a UDID like a cookie. You can't clear it. I mean, it's there.
Yeah, it goes with you wherever you go.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it goes wherever you take it. So well, for you to be safe, I don't know. I mean, I don't buy that.
Well, see, there is sweet revenge in some of this because I met a guy over the weekend, super nerd, Zach. All right, and Zach is he's the first guy recorded. You can find it on YouTube. He's the first guy to jailbreak the iPhone 4. He went into a store in Atlanta. I think it was in Lenox, an Apple store a few months back when the iPhone 4 first came out, and he broke into the phone. He jailbroke the phone. So they've had your privacy on tap forever. So he, I guess, violated the privacy that they had over your information and over their own proprietary firewalls and whatnot to get to them. So, turnabout's fair play sometimes. So, way to go, Zach. It was kind of a revenge of the nerds thing. But I get off topic. A lot of folks say, though, that this, because of what the phones do and because of how bad it's gotten, there is need for regulation. There's need for more. The government really needs to step in on this. And that to me is a slippery slope, Bree.
I don't think the government needs to step into anything. I think they need to step out of stuff. I think the government is doing way too many things right now. I mean, they've just kind of turned into this behemoth where somebody needs to step in and say, you know what? We don't care what you think, government. You've given your opinion about everything in this universe, and we're sick of it. If you are upset that your privacy is being violated because you have an iPhone, don't get an iPhone.
Yeah.
Get rid of it.
The point is, and I think the point you were making, Bree, is that people we give our privacy up so easily these days, and really it's not even a concern to a lot of folks. I think there's a generational divide. Our parents' generation, I mean, you think back to the debate over the Patriot Act and well beyond that, every time we grapple with privacy violations now, the 30 and older crowd goes hysterical, and the 30 and under crowd goes, what's privacy? It's really got to that point. And do you think that there should be more concern? Is this like the mom that got the tattoo on spring break and regrets it 10 years later when she's trying to raise an 8-year-old daughter because it doesn't look as good as it did before? It's hard to explain. And that we will regret having given up so much down the road? Or is this just the new way things are done?
I think it's a fundamental shift. I think that we've grown up with the internet. I mean, I would say that the first time we had internet in my house was when I was about 10. And I just feel like it's the way things are done now. And, Facebook, it was announced that this year it actually surpassed Google in the amounts of hits. And is now officially the most popular website in the world. And they're the worst about it. They give away everything. They sell all your information. And they're still the most popular site in the world, so I guess people don't care. And I mean, when it first came out, all the privacy violations they had, I think 2 people I know said, okay, I'm deleting my Facebook. And it didn't last long.
Honestly, I think as long as I can be jogging down the road with my iPhone 4, plug in and get my Pandora playlist to personalize my radio station for me, I could care less. I have great music, and they finally got it right at the station.
Well,
Sean?
I mean, if the lack of privacy, if you type in your name under Google, you can actually locate where you are, either on LinkedIn, on Facebook, or any of the Twitter.
Or Foursquare. I mean, you're sending the ads to you right where you are.
Yeah, there is a lack of privacy with all those websites. I mean, I've Googled myself, and I see myself on Google.
Yeah.
So there are ways that people can actually find you.
This is kind of off topic, but that actually can't be reversed. I had someone who basically decided that they were going to write on their blog that I was the stupidest person on the planet. And they went on this rant about it, and they mentioned me by first and last name. So every time you Google my name, that comes up. And there's nothing I can do about it. There's nothing that can be changed about it.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's really the alpha. The internet is the alpha and omega. It's the beginning and the end. There is no beginning. There is no end, really. And it goes forever. It lives on forever. Once it's there, it's there for eternity and then some. But it is amazing to me just how quickly people give it up now. Because they say in an article here, the Wall Street Journal article, a lot of folks, Text Plus 4, by the way, the iPhone app, text messaging service, is the worst of the worst at that's sending out your data. If you use that service, watch out if you're concerned about this. But this thing called Paper Toss, which is kind of like Angry Birds, the game you play online, literally where you toss paper into a trash can. Before we sold our soul for 30 pieces of silver. Now we sell it to do things that we hated doing when we were 8 years old because we considered them chores. We now will sell our privacy away for this. It's gotten bad. Bree, you got to ask, should News Corp, because here's another angle here, because one of the things they found out, and this is kind of interesting to me, Wall Street Journal did this article and found out that Google is selling a lot of information on from the Android phone. The Android phone is selling a lot of information to this company called Millennia, which is a data mining company. Well, guess who owns the Android system? Well, that would be News Corp. And they sell to MySpace, which is owned by News Corp. So I guess, do they come out smelling virtuous, because the Wall Street Journal, which is another News Corp entity, actually told the story and ratted themselves out? Is that taking the high road, Sean? If you think about it, they're above reproach, right, Bree?
I like to think that they think that is. I really think the Wall Street has just kind of gotten to the point where they think that they can be absolved from something if they just criticize it a little. Mm-hmm. And they say that it's being fair and balanced when they're like, oh, well, this is bad, but this is good. So it balances out, when really they have their opinion and they're just trying not to show their bias.
Yeah, well, it says here, the information being shared by the Journal actually designed a system in order to intercept and record the data they transmit, and then decoded the data stream. So basically, the Journal breached the app makers' privacy in order to expose that the app makers are breaching our privacy. I'm happy with that. We get to the bottom line one way or another, and John Stossel can be happy either way. We'll see you tomorrow on The Hub.